Welcome to Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, the living legend, Logan Hurston, and I'm of course joined by my co-host, the gimmick killer, Cooper Prater.
I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Or you people.
And he is a giant standing at a whopping Gojira height, Mr. Jack Dudley.
Open the Lion's Gate, Gaties.
Yuck. That's nasty, bro. That's the worst thing you might have said of this whole podcast, I think. Gaties. Welcome back to Strongest Style Pro Wrestling Podcast, and an honest to God, tame wrestling week, which is great because we have so much more brackets to do this week.
No, it is the last possible day for us to finish our March Madness ploy.
I know it's March 31st. Oh, man.
It's
definitely not going to get out. I mean, it's not going to be put out by the end of March, so this is April Madness this year.
For sure.
That's as any good professional wrestling organization should do. We space this out over the course of weeks and weeks. This prestigious tournament, in many ways, this is our G1 climax.
Right.
Funniest option, but yeah, welcome back. As mentioned by Mr. Jack Dudley. Do you want to lead us off with some news? This is the first time we get a Jack-led news week.
I know. Well, yeah, the main thing that happened today is that kind of the thing we've been alluding to has broken in Japanese wrestling news. Dragon Dia officially announced his leaving Dragongate this morning, changing his name to just Dia in the Greek alphabet, all caps, like a lot of wrestlers over there like to sort of switch over to when a fun, exciting thing happens in their career. Also dropping the dragon, that's obviously not unintentional. And yeah, it became this whole thing. Dragongate ended up putting out their whole statement about it, basically saying that Dia has spent the last few weeks kind of ghosting them and forcing them to speak through an agent and not wanting to talk to them clearly, with the intent that he was going to leave at the end of his contract. And it seems it's a complicated situation. It seems like a lot of it is like you'd rather Dia have taken this, like not been a little bit so cold, but at the same time, Dragongate is not a company known for its like outstanding work culture, and I'll just say a lot of people have certainly been giving him the benefit of the doubt today. And I mean, just in general, Japanese work culture is kind of known for expecting way too much out of the employee and not wanting, shit like disloyalty to happen even when it's totally reasonable. So I think the main thing I can say is, as a New Japan fan, it's very fun to see them swinging their dicks around for once, because I feel like I'm getting...
And for your favorite guy, too.
Well, not necessarily. but I am looking forward to, like, if Dia gets good somehow, by the grace of God, I'm looking forward to being able to say, like, it was because of New Japan that he was able to get good.
What are you talking about? That's your boy, Jack, historically.
No. Yeah. But it's also not even a guy I spoke out against until literally last week. I feel like my relationship with Dia is very new on the podcast.
No.
Some people have been saying, like, maybe this is the guy that they're just going to sort of saddle with Tiger Mask, like how they've been doing all these Tiger Mask teases lately, but that seems unlikely with him sort of changing his name like that. There was a guy on my Discords saying that he could be Shin Ninja Mac the second.
Skinny Mac.
Yeah.
Not Ninja Mac in any way.
Oh my god. No, but seriously though, it is funny. Like all this stuff is clearly it's serious now. Now that this happened, I think all this other junior stuff we talked about is about to happen. And junior stuff's been happening all week. They've been doing this slow rollout of the best of the Super Juniors entrance throughout the week. It's actually been kind of a fun gimmick. I've liked it a lot. I've liked having the excitement going sort of constantly, and I hope it's something they continue for the G1. I saw some people sort of say that they like how they do it in front of a live crowd so you can get the different pops for each individual wrestler, but I think the middle ground will be good if they do like the two big surprises actually live at Sakura Genesis like they said they were going to do. The entrance so far in order, we got started with sort of the top three juniors in the division. The first day it was El Desperado, Doki, and Kosei Fujita announced. No surprises there. They're obviously all either former winners or, the sort of dominant junior heavyweight champion right now. Then the other day we had Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru of House of Torture announced, and then DDT's Daisuke Sasaki taking that sort of DDT spot that Mao was in last year. I frankly don't know much about Daisuke Sasaki. What I do know is a funny little thing that it says third entry, first time in 14 years, which gives him the longest gap in history between any wrestler in a major New Japan tournament. Cooper, can you explain this to me? What was Daisuke Sasaki's 2000s New Japan run?
I did not know that was
Okay, well, maybe I'll do a quick
Wikipedia search. It's 2012 then. That's 14 years is 2012.
Yeah.
That's not even 2000s.
Just about Daisuke Sasaki in general, then, where I look up why this happened.
For quite a long time, yeah. So that does kind of track. He would have been very early into his career then, and so he probably would have been like a DDT like prospect that they sent over maybe to try to get in some good graces around the same time as the early Golden Lovers run.
Sure, no, that makes sense.
But Sasaki just as a wrestler, as a entity, I think is an interesting pick for this. I never in my mind really associated him as a junior heavyweight, although I guess that is like technically correct. But just because I think maybe I see him paired up with similar sized guys in DDT.
Yeah, I mean, he's a former, I guess, probably like KOD openweight winner and all these other things that are like the top titles in DDT. But Mal was too.
Yeah, that is true. But like Mal just seemed to fit better.
He's smaller. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah. But I mostly know him as the at least former leader or co-leader, depending on how people view Tetsuya Endo's role in the faction of Damnation, which was DDT's big heel unit in the mid-2010s, and maybe still today in some form or fashion. I'm kind of more touch and go with DDT now, but so I'm not super plugged. Like I know Chris Brooks has a brand new faction too, and Schadenfreude is not a thing anymore. But in like 2016 through 2019, I want to say, like Damnation was kind of their answer to LIJ in a way.
Okay.
This sort of like ragtag group of weirdos who had a big kind of surge of crowd support behind them because of that. And Sasaki was very kind of, to me at least, like he had sort of the affect of Naito, that kind of like disaffected sort of nonchalance about him, but he aesthetically borrows more from kind of like sort of a backyard like hardcore kind of look. I thought it was like pretty cool at the time. At least I have not seen a single match of his since like 2018 though, so I'm not super
really okay.
Yeah, but he has a certain amount of charisma to him. He has been, oddly enough, though, recently making kind of the rounds in North America, at least. He wrestled a dark match on this previous week's Dynamite. And he also was on the Ring of Honor Maple Leaf Pro Global Wars show, I believe. Just a little while.
Really?
Ago. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, he's been doing a little like North American tour, I guess. But I don't imagine that that's really going to result in anything long term for him over there. So it makes sense that he's still primarily sticking to Japan as a base and committed to this tournament.
It doesn't shock me that he was picked knowing his previous history. He definitely started when he was younger. He's been training. I mean, it's been over a 20-year career. He was trained by Dick Togo, so that connection definitely helps him get.
So he's a wrestling genius.
Yes, he's a wrestling genius. But it is funny. He was in the 2011 and 2012 Best Super Juniors. He finished dead last in 2011 in his block, and then 7th out of 9th in 2012. So it's not like a rich history. And I know he's been the Universal Champion. I don't think he's ever been KOD. He's challenged for it a bunch of times, but I don't think he's ever.
Well, I think Endo was the KOD guy from Damnation for the most part. He was Endo is kind of like, I think the real kind of like top star of that time, but Sasaki was always kind of like 1B in a way to him, and Endo eventually ditched out. Now I think he's mainly a Noah guy.
Yep.
Whereas Sasaki is still pretty loyal to DDT, I think.
So Damnation's still around, but they're now just Damnation TA, and he is the leader. So.
Yes.
But the last time he won a major title in DDT was 2020. So against Chris Brooks when he won that Universal title. It's an interesting pick, to say the least. It definitely feels like I think they're just trying to shuffle around the cards this year with the juniors and really, like Jack was saying, like hard reset thing. And
I think so too. I think the fact that they're doing this like unique way of getting eyes on it is proof enough of that. With the staggered announcements, I mean.
Speaking of which, who's in the next round of announcements?
Up next, we had Master Wado and Yo, of course, the Hantai sort of tag team. And then CMLL's young prospect, Valiente Jr., who I was only just recently introduced to with Fantasticmania this year. I think he's a really good young luchador.
Yeah. I love Valiente Jr. from the stuff that I've seen him in. And I was not super plugged into Fantasticmania, but I have been watching his CMLL stuff, and him and like Futuro are like pretty regular presences now on kind of like the undercard tags for most of the like Friday, Saturday shows. And yeah, he does some wild shit. It's crazy because he wrestles nothing like his dad. If you've ever seen Valiente Senior, he was like a big, bulky, like powerhouse dude, and his kid is all about flips. That boy can flip.
It does beg the question on if we think we do see an AEW younger star, because we've seen it in the past with Yuta, who had a very stinky Best of Super Juniors run, and
Nick Wayne,
and then not really technically, but I'm pretty sure like wrestling for AEW, but technically was promoted as GCW when Blake Christian had his run.
I don't think he was officially with AEW.
He wasn't officially.
He might have been doing some dark stuff.
He was doing appearances, I know, at the time of Ring of Honor. I think when he did, he was also they put him as from GCW because lame. But if you think there would be a junior or someone who could fit in the junior division that could make a run, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw like a Daniel Garcia maybe as like a surprise announcement. He's not really.
That's true. I mean, well, the funny thing about this is I'm sure, dear listeners, if you stick with us long enough, that I might be able to provide an update on the next three.
It's true.
Just give it like an hour and 40 minutes.
Do you think...
And we can come back to this.
Who would you want, though, Jack, if you had to pick? We'll see.
If I pick AEW guys?
Yeah, an AEW guy who would fit in the junior division to be...
Well, it's difficult because I'd pick guys that probably think that they're a little too big for their britches to do the junior stuff now. I'd definitely pick Roddy or like Ciampa or something because I think they do great in the juniors, but they've been around long enough and are big enough stars to where they probably want to do the G1 despite their size. I'd love to see Garcia in there.
I could see Ciampa. I couldn't see Roddy. I could see Ciampa.
That's funny. I view it the other way around. I could totally see Roddy, but I think Ciampa, as much as he's trying to distance himself from being Fed guy, I think he maybe still has a Fed guy mentality of, I don't want to be in there with the little guys,
Yeah, you might be right. I'd love to see that new guy Clark Connors. I've never seen much from him. I like, even though the gimmick sucks, I like Desmond Xavier. I've always liked him. I think he'd be cool in the BOSJ.
Surprised you don't want to see Blackheart Leo Rush.
I don't want to see Blackheart Leo Rush.
That's honestly who you're getting.
I really don't want to see Blackheart Leo Rush. Realistically, though, I think it's going to end up being like fucking Alec Price or something because they did that.
Oh, please, no.
You're getting the Busta and the Brain.
The Busta. You can't get one or the. Yeah, you can't get one. I do think, honest to God, I think Danny's the best option that you would get, and I think he's the most likely shout because especially with like the Mox connection. Who would you think, Cooper, if there was to be an AEW representation?
Well, first of all, I don't really agree with the Danny pick. I think he is not that he wouldn't do it, but I think that's an instance where Tony Khan, and just his current booking on AEW, I think maybe slots him. He's too busy with AEW stuff. I think. Okay. I don't know that he would make the time for it, but I would like to see it. But I don't know. Maybe and this is also kind of pie in the sky thinking. Granted, with how he's being used on AEW right now, but I would love to see Speedball make a return to the Super Juniors.
That'd be awesome. Yeah,
the year that they were in, I would love to see how they interact with the newer names that have popped up since then. So yeah, definitely like it maybe also like somebody who's being kind of underutilized, but could benefit from like a big like long tournament run. Maybe somebody like Ace Austin.
Oh, for sure.
True. Yeah. And he's done stuff with New Japan before in the past.
Yeah, has a connection already. There's Tommy Billington, if you want to pull from Ring of Honor.
Oh, that'd be so sick.
Which and you could maybe do some little teases with whatever young guy they have planned to be Tiger Mask. You could maybe have him kind of like go, because there's obviously the history there with the Dynamite Kid name. But they've got tons of options. If they even want to send anybody over, which I don't know that they do right now. But that's been kind of the pattern. It's probably going to be somebody lower on the rungs though.
Yeah. I'm sticking with Danny. My pie in the sky one though. And I never thought of this until now.
Mystico?
No. Yeah, that's not that's technically, that's AEW CMLL. But, dude, imagine Orange Cassidy's Best of the Super Juniors run.
I'd love it. I would watch every single match.
That would never, ever, ever happen. There's no way Tony would send him over. No way 40-year-old Orange would want to work, I think, Best of the Super Juniors for a month. But, like, if he did, I'd be so invested. Get the dog.
Condensing the entire international title reign into the space of, like, 3 weeks.
Yep. That, or they just let him. I would honestly love it, too, if he just legit phones it in and tries just to pull a Yano on every match.
I just want to see the Orange Taguchi
Yes, dude. Let David Finley write him off TV for like a month, and then he goes to do Best of the Super Juniors. Like, it writes itself.
That would be amazing.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh man, I'd love to see Orange. No, never. But I love Orange. I'd love to see that.
The one reason I don't think Roddy would, and you shouted him out, is because Roddy's wrestled almost every main event New Japan star in the 2010s during that Ring of Honor run. That's
true. Yeah.
I think if he did get it, he would be like a heavyweight. I could see Ciampa though, just because he is, even though he has a bulky physique somewhat, he's still kind of a skinnier, lean muscle, and he's done Cruiserweight Classic before. So, but years ago, I mean, that's a lifetime ago, but still.
Yeah, I was about to say, like,
that's a different beast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
You know how weird wrestlers are about these things.
Well, moving on. Is there anything you would like to say about your beloved Cerulean Blue before we get on to?
That was not it.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
I knew there was another round.
No, it's nothing crazy. They just also last night did Robbie Eagle is sort of unsung hero of the junior division these last few years. This is 8th consecutive tournament, which is crazy. The most ever for a junior, or for a foreigner in the junior division. He just surpassed Devitt with that number. And then Akira as well, and debuting Dangerous Jacob Austin Young. He's been begging to be in the tournament for 2 years now, so I'm happy for the man that he finally was able to make it in with how small the roster is now.
They should make him and Zane J a tag team and be the J and J connection.
The Jays. Oh, yeah.
The Jays. Jaybirds. We could call them Jaybirds.
Oh, man. Jacob Austin Young is funny because he's a guy that just sort of showed up one day and then never left.
What's
no fanfare or anything.
What it was...
Osprey wheeled him in, and it's like, okay, I guess we're doing this now.
What Japanese indie did he work at before? If you remind me,
OWE. That's the Chinese one that was one of the first partners with AEW in 2019.
Yeah, he was Coffee J or something like that, right?
J Cafe.
J Cafe, yeah. Never forget. We've talked about this before, but like it blows my mind that this guy is just like a Japanese lifer foreigner. It's hilarious to me.
Put that brother in there with Cappuccino Jones.
That's true,
yeah,
Jake.
For real.
Put that on the Mark Hitchcock.
That is some shit that Mark Hitchcock.
Did you see? I think this was just announced. This might blow Cooper's mind, but for the Dean, the Action Dean WrestleMania show, they're doing Carl Greco Malenko versus Mad Dog Conley.
Ooh, yes.
I'm like, this is the most Cooper Prater matchup that we could make right now.
I am gonna be insufferable during that match.
I'm gonna
be watching.
I'm gonna drive down Friday night, 2 days before Jack's wedding, and be like, sorry, brother, you gotta watch wrestling.
You're goddamn right you do.
We're gonna have Triller on one TV and some other stream on another the whole time we're in this bachelor pad. And
that one time that we did that at Jack's place, and the one show like on his laptop or whatever, just like was cycling through their
random
graphic the whole time.
Yeah, well, Jack hated one show so much that he just put on the WWE feed, which is just running back old WrestleMania matches, and the Sammy match came on.
I know. What's going to be even crazier is this year's version where we have like 3 screens set up for indie shows and WrestleMania and the wedding all at once.
Oh, your wedding also on the TV screen.
Jack's wedding.
We're gonna have Sarah's gonna be
by GCW Collective.
Yeah, Jack's gonna be getting married.
Orange Crush.
Yeah, you're gonna be getting married, Jack, and you're gonna be looking at your beautiful bride Sarah, and behind her is gonna be 3 TV screens, so you can know what's going on while you get married. You can't miss a thing, brother. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Oh my god, she just doesn't understand how important it is.
Okay, what you gotta do is you gotta get in with one of the bridesmaids and like slip a 20.
Yeah, so she can like hold her phone. Yeah.
Yeah, during the vows.
Oh
make
god!
sure you get Bloodsport like right up here.
I'm gonna go to.
Oh my god!
Me and Katie are gonna have a talk at this. I'm gonna get Sarah's sister to do it for me.
Jackie's got the Nagata lock. He's got. And I'm like. A few thumbs up towards her, like thanks for
He like stares. He stares at Sarah, and he like turns for a second. You see him make like a pog face because the Kana comes off of the screen.
The light of the eye.
I'm telling you, I'm taking the over on some TV at wherever we're in undisclosed location. That Jack's family will be finding a way to put WrestleMania on. I'm telling you, it's going to happen, right? Your family's going to find a way. We're going to be at the Hound, and they're going to ask if they can put WrestleMania on, brother.
Oh, my God. We might... I think we might do, like, a big late-night thing for WrestleMania Saturday, at least. I know Evil Company, but... That's what Cliff wants to do after the rehearsal.
I think you mean the Cluster F forever, right?
The Cluster Fuck forever, no doubt.
Yeah. That's what Cliff
wants
to do.
Oh my god!
Just you watch, brother. Microman's taking it back. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh man. I remember specifically 2 years ago, when I was when I was like mid sort of New Japan fan. And Sakura Genesis was on WrestleMania weekend. And I was like, oh, I've got too much American wrestling to watch. I can't watch Sakura Genesis. I'll just wait to get back into New Japan until after WrestleMania season. That shit would never fly these days. I'm watching Newman versus Tsuji over every single match happening in America for the rest of time.
No, last thing before I move on, it just reminded me... On the former timeline, we're on our sister series here on the podcast, but on the former one, we did get together for a couple WrestleManias before we truly put our foot down. Cooper did especially, and said we're not doing that anymore. And the deal was, I will let them drink as much as they want, and I will drive them all home. And at 1 a.m. after watching WrestleMania and whatever GCW show, we went to get It was, yeah. We went to get the car started, and it would not start. I will never forget when I looked at you guys in the eyes. Dude. I just started it like 100 times. It finally started. I looked at you all, and I said, I'm not putting this in break. When we get to your house, you're just gonna have to jump out. Because like that or you gotta Uber. That's your options. Right. New car, battery died, WrestleMania weekend. So
no, man, we had good times. Not like now. Not like anymore.
Well, continuing back with New Japan news, Jack, do you want to take over?
Yeah, well, the only thing left to talk about is, of course, that Sakura Genesis is this upcoming Saturday. And I think we should do predictions for it. Should we add the I know it's a little weird, but Japanese wrestling is different. Would y'all want to add the 2 junior championship matches that are happening at Cork and onto the predictions, even though they're not on the same card?
What are the matches?
Robbie X and Ishimori versus Akira and Jacob Austin Young, and Doki versus Yo.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Cooper said, I'm champion. I'm not putting up some BS matches to lose my belt.
What are you talking about? I'm already at a disadvantage by having to watch this dog shit promotion for fucking like the past month. So no, I'm not in fact letting you get a layup from.
No, that's fair.
Cooper?
The only reason I'm saying that is because it's one of the New Japan shows where like half the card is just tags. It's only the half of it that's actually important fucking matches. So I thought Add some excitement to it.
Well, before
what is the reason you don't fuck with it? Is it because of Newman?
Well, that didn't help. This was spurred on by how they fucking treated my boy Aaron Wolf.
True.
No, fair enough. That is despicable. Absolutely,
that was really
despicable.
the main impetus for
No,
my,
that is
ongoing boycott, and I will not be watching this show.
I get it. I get it.
I want to state, Cooper, like they said in the Iron Claw, to be a world champion, you have to wrestle in Japan. And brother, your Japan date, it's came up. You got to put that title on the line against Jack.
I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. Look, I'm Harley Race up in this bitch. I didn't mean nothing. I know my duties. All right.
If anything, what's happened?
I have to like it. You think Harley Race likes having to wrestle Giant Baba?
Yes,
Fucking,
he loved it
5 times in a row.
I think if anything, what's happened with Aaron has hardened Cooper into making more realistic predictions now. He's honestly more dangerous.
Yes,
He's not picking with his heart. He's picking with his brain.
Jack's buttering him up for Cooper to go 0 for 10 on these predictions. All right, Jack, do you have the card pulled up for us?
Of course.
Yeah, I know.
Really, my luck. This is the one show Gato locks the fuck in.
No, yeah, like I said, the first few matches are kind of just bullshit regular preview tags, but we've got Kushida and Masatori Yasuda versus Tetsuya Matsumoto and Taisei Nakahara. It's almost not even worth picking these because obviously we all know the team with the real wrestler is going to win the fucking Young Lion match. We know at least enough about wrestling to all just pick Kushida and Yasuhiro.
Yes.
One of the Young Lions on the other team, literally, was just born 20 minutes ago, right?
I know. Well, actually, he's like, I told y'all, it's funny, because he's that guy who's spent 4 years in the dojo.
Oh, yeah, that's the okay. Yeah.
He's the guy who took forever. But I just saw him cut a promo in backstage comments yesterday. He was like, man, I came in at the same time as Nagai and Murashima and Shomikado, and they're gone, and the guy's main eventing the show. Poor Taisei Nakahara. But yeah, no, he's not winning this match. We're all picking Kushida and Masatori Yasuda.
Yes.
As for the real sort of harder to predict matches, but still not that much. Togi Makabe and Tiger Mask on this sort of Tiger Mask retirement tour against Hartley Jackson and Kosei Fujita. I'm taking Jackson and Fujita. The old fucks are not going to win against real wrestlers.
Well, everyone else too, Tiger Mask is fucking retiring, and Kosei is going into the Super Juniors. So, yeah,
as the defending champion too.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
same here.
All of us picking TMDK.
Yes.
Now for the sort of again lesser hard to predict matches. Unbound Co trio of Shingo and Ishimori and Robbie X against Jake Lee, Akira, and Jacob Austin Young. This greatly depends on who's winning those tag titles at the April 2nd show, so I'm not entirely sure who to go for. I think I'm going to pick United Empire just for the sake of sort of scaring the crowd into thinking that maybe Callum is going to win in the main event, sort of the momentum thing. So that's my prediction.
Give me the man who brings the stuffed monkey down to the ring. That team. I'll take United Empire.
All right.
I can see how the United Empire sweep might convince people about Callum in the main, but because they do have another tag match later on in the card that I think is much more likely for them to win, I think they'll give Unbound Co. So this way it'll be even Stevens leading into the main for the Unbound versus United Empire kind of show long rivalry. They'll go one and then the deciding factor.
Yeah, no, that makes sense too. That makes sense just as well. Then we've got Cooper Don't Look, Aaron Wolf, Yo Wado, and Toriyano against Don Fale, Sho Kanemaru, and Doki. I think probably the Hantai team is going to win this, so Wolf can finally get a sort of dreaded singles rematch with the Don. But I might be wrong, and he might literally not get that win back until the G1. I don't even want to think about the possibility of Don Fale in the G1, but it's 2026. New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that's the reality we have to sort of accept. I'm picking the Hantai.
I think it's going to be the Hantai team, and I think one of the juniors is going to pin Doki going into Best of Super Juniors here. I don't think the Wolf and Fale will brawl on the outside or something while the deciding factor is. Bold prediction. But no, imagine Master Wado pinning Doki going into the tournament.
Master Wado just lost in the title defense.
Who cares? Yeah, brother. Hey, we're gonna run it back and we're gonna win this time. We're gonna win this time.
God. Oh my god. Maybe you're right. Because this is a 2026 New Japan Pro Wrestling with the juniors.
Say, what neither of you have considered is that God is dead. And
Gato killed him.
Gato killed him. Dick Togo garrote wired him and proceeded to ring the bell before the match had even fucking ended. So, yeah, it's gonna be HOT, and I hated saying it as much as you hated hearing it. I do agree, though. I think maybe Wolf might not factor into the finish much at all, and they'll leave it to the juniors to get some heat for the tournament.
All right, now we get to the real matches. Ospreay's triumphant return to United Empire to New Japan Pro Wrestling. We've got Yuya Uemura, Taichi, and El Desperado, which is kind of a fun team in its own right. Sort of a merging of just five guys in Suzuki-gun history. Almost like a version of it that never was. I like that team. And then we've got them facing off against the United Empire OGs of Will Ospreay, Hanare, and the Great Okan. I think, of course, what everyone else is thinking, that Yuya is going to Roman Reigns stack and stack them all and get the three-person pin decisive victory to win the match. No, seriously, though. Obviously, Ospreay will be winning in some form or fashion in this match. We'll talk more about Ospreay in a bit, but or I guess we can talk about it here because, we're just doing the predictions. But I think he'll probably get a win over someone like Taichi over Desperado. And then I think he's likely... I think there's a chance he has some sort of match against Tsuji, if not going straight into the Newman match. I had the idea that he sort of is the next global defense and maybe even wins the thing to drop to Newman, because y'all are telling me that there's no way Ospreay is losing any match anytime soon, with him being, winning the title at All In. So that's sort of my thought, but I don't know what the fuck. It's always weird and difficult to predict the guys that are in AEW and New Japan at the same time. I just feel like that makes the most sense purely from a New Japan lens.
Ospreay is going to pin Taichi, not Yuya, and he's going to have like a little stare down with Yuya after the match. Teasing, maybe he does a G1 run. Probably not. Absolutely not. But we're going to tease that. We got to sell tickets, brother. And yeah, he's going to set up a global championship battle against Tsuji for later on. Actually, though, as much as that makes sense, maybe they'll run that for Forbidden Door or Dominion. But if he does win the global title, that means I don't think he does a G1. Because he'll be AW champion.
Not when
No, he wouldn't do it anyway.
Yeah. That would just take the global title out of the G1, though. It's the only thing. But yeah,
bro, that's happened so many fucking times.
True.
Since this partnership started.
Yeah, give me
Gabe
Ospreay.
Kidd didn't even do the G1 last year as the goal. That happened last year. He just
tried,
did it for no fucking. He just did it just cause.
His leg hurt.
A bad.
His leg hurt, bro.
He got a bad shoulder injury.
Oh my god! And then he jumped off the top of Hell in a Cell like 2 weeks later.
What are you talking about? I don't remember that. He was hurt. You don't respect when wrestlers are injured, bro. Jack.
Oh my god! Whatever.
Yeah. What, you expect the man to wrestle a full match when he can't even put his shoulders down?
Oh my god!
For the 3, brother, he would just win them all. He couldn't put his shoulders down. All right, moving on. Oh wait, no, Cooper.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the fuck Ospreay's winning. yeah, I don't know. I will say, by the way, be careful, boys, because Jack and Logan, right now, you two have exactly the same.
Oh,
this is the
half of the show.
This is the way.
Yeah, we've got up next a never openweight 6-man tag title. See, we only have 3, like, even though that's a title match, we only got 3 fucking matches on this card that are, like, singles or tag. Everything else is, oh my god. For Sakura Genesis, too, that's nuts. Anyways, we've got Hiroki Goto, Yoshihashi, and Boltin Oleg defending against Ren Narita, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi in the 4th from the top match at Sakura Genesis. This card stinks. I haven't thought about it until I've gone through it. This is god awful.
Give me Bishamon
that's
10.
A killer main event to save it.
Bishamon
probably.
10.
I want to, go different from Logan just for the sake of it, but I think that's probably right. Because Bolton is going to end up getting a never openweight title match, and I think they're going to hold on to it for now.
I don't know why you guys have suddenly turned on the greatest babyface in all of professional wrestling.
Well, it's
fickle, I tell you.
You know why? Because he's got a ball and chain the size of Japan on his ankle. His name is Chase Owens.
Brother, you say that. To Gato, he just saw money signs.
I know, and he's wrong.
That boy loves him some Lone Star Outlaw. No, it does come with pimp juice. It does come with the fucking push-up bar or whatever Ren Narita's bullshit is. The House are taking it, dude. They're taking those belts.
They did say there was one. Oh, sorry, Logan.
Go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say there was a good promo that actually our boy Yujiro cut in the Backstage Comments, the most recent show, where he started yelling at the interviewers, and he was saying, "How is it fair that Bishamon are allowed to have Boltin Oleg on their team? He's basically a human weapon, and it's no different from how they cheat and use their foreign objects in every single match anyway."
Bro, he's right.
He does have a point.
He's literally correct.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good nickname, the human weapon, right there. The ultimate weapon. That's what Aaron used to be. I'm losing it, and we're only in the first hour of the show. Then we have the Alpha, the big baby, Kinosuke Takeshita defending the New Japan Pro Wrestling World TV Championship against Shota Umino. Now, this one is difficult because obviously Shota has been getting all this momentum lately. And, but I also think obviously we all know that the TV championship is just as much below him as it's below Takeshita. And I don't think, with all the build up towards Shota winning his first major accomplishment, I don't think they'd give him the TV championship as that. I think they're waiting for something bigger. So my gut's to say Takeshita wins it so that Shota goes even further or loses even further before kind of having a big G1 run and maybe even winning the thing, like I said last week. At the same time, this is obviously the fucking time limit title, and they can so easily just not have a winner here. So I also think it's plenty reasonable to say they will just not have a winner here and then get back to it either at Dontaku without the title on the line or wait till the G1 for them to run it back. They do that so much with the TV championship, though, that I just don't know if it's going to happen this time. And I think maybe that Takeshita, like the feud might keep on going, but I think Takeshita might still get a definitive win here regardless. So I'm going to pick that. I think I'm going to pick that.
Thank God, because I'm picking the time limit draw. So I was like, we're going to be the exact same, brother.
Oh, man.
Cooper?
Logan?
Oh, okay. I thought Logan had more to say.
No, time limit draw.
That was a weird. Yeah.
No, bro, this is the biggest time limit draw match I've ever seen. You cannot have Takeshita lose sub 15 to Shota, and I don't think they want to have Shota. Like, I think time limit draw, and they'll do this match again later on. Build it up more.
I think they. I do have to side with Jack on the first scenario. He said he laid out at least, which was really sink Shota down into the depths before raising him back up for a really triumphant G1 run. Even if he doesn't win the whole thing, but he needs to look really good coming out of the G1. And yeah, you could technically, I guess, like maybe run this back and make it kind of a ongoing thing with him and Takeshita. I don't think anybody cares about it, about that, really.
It's not the most interesting thing for either of them to be doing in New Japan right now.
No. Even if I do like both of them. But yeah, sign me up for Big Baby.
Alrighty. Next we've got the KOB defending their tag team championships against the TMDK team of Zack Sabre Jr. and Ryohei Oiwa one more time. Their rivalry, especially the rivalry between Ice and Oiwa, has kind of reached a fever pitch since their singles match in the New Japan Cup. It's kind of taken on even a more interesting approach where after Oiwa scored the victory in the New Japan Cup with kind of not a roll-up, but like a leverage pin while Ice was going for that final sort of Usaiko knee style finisher that he has. I think it's technically a boot, so it's not the same, but I don't know what else to really call it. I guess it's kind of like a claymore, actually.
That's what I was thinking as you were saying it. I was like,
yeah,
the description is like a claymore.
Yeah, it's kind of like the claymore. So that Oiwa sort of
the sick
leverage
kick.
Yes, the stick kick. Mm-hmm. True. But anyways, Ice was very upset after the match, and it's turned into this whole battle of philosophies where Ice is only interested in, what he's always talking about, these high emotions, like fighting spirit style matches, and Oiwa is kind of over here saying, like, fucking, this is wrestling, and I'm gonna win any way that I can, the Zach's teachings instilled into him. So it's an interesting clash of styles and clash of philosophies in this one. And I actually think that maybe this is the time that one of the Knockout Brothers' big rivals are going to get a win over them. And I think TMDK might have at least a short reign with the tag titles. I feel like Oiwa is due a big moment, and I think that Zach needs something to do in the next few pay-per-views until the G1 starts. So I think they're going to actually win this, and we're going to get the first big loss for the Knockout Brothers due to Ice's sort of wrong understanding of what pro wrestling should be. I think that's the way it's going to go.
Like burn himself out.
Right, yeah.
I'm so mad.
Something like that. Because you were going to say that?
That's exactly what I was going to say. And I thought, we've been going so similar. I thought for sure Jack's going to go the Knockout Brothers here. And I'm going to go TMDK, and this is the one I steal one. But no, it's all going to come down to a time limit draw. Or not. If Gato is a man or a mouse, we'll find that out. That's going to be the difference between mine and yours. It's that or just Cooper just whoops our tails and sweeps and beats us in the prelims.
That would be hilarious.
But yeah, I'm also going to go TMDK. When they did the second, feud here and ran it back versus these two, I was like, it just makes sense with how much momentum that they're gaining. And like, Naga Brothers, as great as they are, they didn't have like the best cup by any means. I mean, they both got eliminated pretty early on. I think they're going to have to start finding themselves, outside of the tag team and build themselves up for the G1 a little bit slowly here. And I could see this going for a little bit longer. I don't know. I just see TMDK getting a win here. I think it's time to flip-flop the titles a little bit, because you can't have them hold it the whole time. So,
yeah, as much as I do love the KOB, and they are for sure the best things in the company for me right now. If I watched, they would be the best thing for me. But I mean, at a certain point, having the belt on them for longer than 4 or 5 months, it's you start to wonder exactly how many how much interest you can still get out of that. So I am also going to go with TMDK, and you can spin it. What's great about this feud is that you can spin the win in kind of either way that you want. Either Oiwa kind of takes the easy way out, so to speak, and you have an immediate kind of setup for a big rematch, and you continue this really intriguing kind of generational feud down the line, or you have him match Ice's kind of energy and beat him at his own game, so to speak, and have this kind of really big triumphant sort of moment, and make it more of a definitive kind of yes, here's the end of the story. Oiwa has finally he has conquered the mountain.
Yeah, you could also even do it sort of in a way where Oiwa wins but sort of becomes more violent than he'd like to win, and it's almost like he's given the ideological win goes to Ice, even though the tag titles go to TMDK, something like that. They have a really good feud that could go a lot of different directions.
Well,
in the main event, we've got perhaps the most anticipated New Japan Pro Wrestling matchup of the year. Some are saying that it's even more hyped up than Tanahashi versus Okada at Wrestle Kingdom this year. It's Yota Tsuji defending against the New Japan Cup winner, the leader of United Empire. Make way for the Prince, Mr. Callum Newman. No, Newman is going. Logan. He did not appreciate that. I hate that it genuinely is going to come down to me and Logan having almost the exact same picks. But Newman is not going to win this match. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Tsuji's going to win the match. He's going to keep it going. Maybe defend against Ospreay. Maybe defend against Uemura. Either way, it's not Callum's time yet, even though I do like him a hell of a lot more than both of you two. I think that it's obvious that Tsuji's going to get at least one more victory before he finds a tougher opponent.
Bye-bye, New Moid. Rest in piss. You won't be missed. Big Suge on top. If I have to see that little British runt in my main event scene again anytime soon, we are going to get Gato and send him to the gulag.
Oh my god.
I don't like him.
Prince of Piss, isn't it?
Prince of Piss.
Oh,
That's
man.
so good, Cooper. You're so right. Look, I will be watching this match at 5 a.m. Orlando time.
Yeah.
Because that is what my good friend Mr. Jack Dudley wants on his bachelor trip. So if this sucks, I told him this sucks, you are going to get a glorious rant by me on the next episode. So he better pull something out of his butt. All right, that's all I got to say.
Oh, another thing that happened in New Japan this week before we moved on is that Sonata posted a bunch of great Instagram pictures of him in like one red boot and one yellow boot on a tractor at a farm. That's more exciting than anything really on the actual card. Just I'll link in the comments.
I can't believe that we moved on from Sonata so quickly. In fact, that just is a detriment to the professional wrestling landscape as a whole.
Truly. I really hope the man is back soon in some company. I love him more than I think words can describe.
Cooper, who do you have here?
Well, Yuji is what is referred to in some circles as a Chad. And Newman is, I believe, what is referred to in some circles as an incel. So I am forced by my moral compass to go with Yoda Tsuji. And also Yoda likes 1940s Humphrey Bogart movies, I guess. So that was also a point in his favor.
That is true. At
the very least, the pudding brand's based off of said Humphrey Bogart movies.
We aren't yet quite sure whether or not he actually cares for the movies. The jury's still out.
As a last little transition, here's a transition from New Japan to AEW. I was visiting family this weekend for reasons that should not be disclosed on the podcast, but I was talking to one of my cousins about this whole, airport debacle and telling them about my Brody King Abolish ICE shirt. And I got him interested in AEW. And at the same time, to the point he's like, what is this? He was asking me what he should watch to get him into AEW, and he said it sounds very cool and stuff. I talked about the Brody King MJF thing. But later on, we were talking just about random stuff with my other cousins, and Punch the Monkey came up, and I said, you know what that reminds me of? I said this wrestler called Jake Lee, who came out with a monkey and wears Joker makeup and puts galaxy gas onto his opponents. Choke him out.
He's awesome.
And when I said that to my cousin, he looked so disturbed. And I said, "Yeah, I don't understand it either, but my friend really likes it."
Boo.
That being said, going to the true #1 company in the world, All Elite Wrestling. We're done with that Japanese shindig.
Oh my god.
It was very funny though when he was really into AEW, and then I mentioned the Jake Lee stuff, and it's this just sounds like I'm chat GPTing a crazy sentence. This, none of this makes sense. But All Elite Wrestling, Cooper, you've watched both shows, so I'm gonna let you lead the discussion. I'll come in with the filler. I'm currently have Ace Austin and Ciampa on my screen right now, so.
You're in for a good one. I like that match. But yeah, two very good episodes of AEW's Prime programming this week. I thought, nothing crazy revelatory or anything like that. Mostly these are just kind of laying pieces in place for Dynasty. In I believe 2 weeks' time. Mm-hmm. In that sense, I think they were very functional episodes of TV. It just so happens that they also had some matches of the year on them that I will get into a little bit, but everything else will kind of be sort of touch and go. So starting off on Dynamite from St. Paul, Minnesota, it was opening up the show. A very interesting choice of opener here, and I've seen some people have some little quibbles about placing this first instead of the match that would be the actual main event for this evening, but I think that those people are dumb and wrong. Kenny Omega, the cleaner, the best bout machine, god of professional wrestling, although apparently he is somewhat hesitant about that one, versus the most dangerous man in AEW, Swerve Strickland, in a match to determine a couple of things. One is to determine the true number one contender to the AEW World Championship, which I believe Swerve technically had coming off of his match with Brody King at Revolution. And also a stipulation that Swerve laid out on the previous edition of Dynamite, the one that was so boring that I had to put on the sumo tournament finals as I was watching it. Apparently on that show, Swerve challenged for Kenny Omega's EVP status. He thought that Kenny was taking advantage of his position, putting himself in title contention when he did not deserve it, and so that he thought that Swerve Strickland, would be more deserving of the title of EVP. That particular wrinkle in this match, I didn't really think was needed, but I suppose it helped commentary give a little drama. Nothing really in the body of the match itself played into any of that.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, Jack.
What is Swerve gonna do if he gets executive vice president powers?
That's kind of the question, isn't it?
He's gonna make mogul moves, brother.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they were maybe teasing because, Swerve went on that big rampage against the Young Bucks last year with their EVP, tyranny. And so, part of the story I think they were maybe trying to tell was, Swerve wants to, in this new heel turn, he would essentially be just as corrupt of a authority figure as the Young Bucks were, and so he's turning on his principles, which is fine, I guess, but I don't give a shit about.
I just don't know what. Yeah.
So
I just feel like it's gonna turn into some really corny shit about him, doing authority figure stuff, which nobody wants to see.
Exactly.
Well, good news for you, Jack.
Yes, you don't have to worry about that alternate universe because the cleaner did, in fact, put away Swerve.
Oh, I knew this. I'm sorry. I knew that he won that match. I knew that he won that match, but I didn't connect that it was the same match. It's, whatever. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. The circumstances are a little fuzzy, but hey, I'll tell you what though, Logan. Jack, would you like to know what this match was?
Oh, I've got to guess.
I have a feeling.
It's match of the year. I also loved their last match from earlier in the year. Also match of the year, in my opinion. But this one I think I like maybe a little bit more. I think I just thought they were really throwing some big bombs pretty straight out the gate. I loved Swerve's performance in particular in this, the kind of desperation that he was getting, as Kenny kept kicking out of his near falls. The house call, big pressure reversals and all that kind of stuff, just nothing could keep Kenny down. The actual body of the match, I thought it just felt really physical. It felt like, two guys who really, really just needed this win. I saw a little bit of kind of that old Kenny Omega spirit too, which, you get Mostly like for his like super big matches, on pay-per-views and stuff nowadays, with how much his body's been put through it. But I think this is one of the, because just this matchup, Kenny Swerve, like, is such a big marquee kind of thing. He knows that this is a match that's deserving of his full effort, even if it's on free TV. But a couple of escape attempts for, like I said, the big pressure, the swerve stomp. They kind of maneuver around for one winged angel. Swerve gets out of it, hits the vertebreaker, or tries to go for the vertebreaker, but Kenny slips out of that. Swerve starts fighting dirty a little bit, and then finally gets that vertebreaker on, which put Kenny away for quite a while the last time he hit it, but he kicks out this time, and that's when Swerve starts getting really desperate. Goes up, goes for a stomp, but then Kenny knees him up, gets him on the ropes, and then V-trigger, one-winged angel, and it's done.
It was a really quick one-winged angel too. I like how he didn't sometimes he stalls with it, but he got him up and just immediate impact.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I felt like there was a real sense of kind of like desperation and okay, yes, Kenny was resilient and kicked out of all these big power moves, but like now at this point, like he's at the end of that gas tank, and he really has to put Swerve down for good this time.
Yeah.
So I really dug it. Logan, did you watch any of this? Do you watch any of it?
Yeah, I watched Dynamite. I watched most of Dynamite. Okay. Yeah, this is a match of the year, bro. I don't know what you put these two names in a blender. It's gonna be, you have Big Kenny getting a match with limited commercial breaks, going as long as he wants at the start of the show. Of course, it's gonna be also his tights, his cat tights. Pretty sweet.
Yes, I was a big fan of the cat tights. I would also get my cat Ellie's little tiny paws put on my wrestling gear if I were a professional wrestler. So, so that is the opener of Dynamite, a real kind of like big spectacle, kind of bomb sort of style of match. And unfortunately, I hope that they would like keep up that momentum with at least some some segments that I was more interested in, but I don't know. After a while, I feel like this kind of stretch of promos and matches, really up until the main, this was not super interesting to me much at all.
I agree. I don't.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, I was just gonna say the only real exception to that is, I guess, Ospreay's promo I liked leading into his challenge to Moxley, and I think the Dogs versus the Conglomeration was it was just good to see the Dogs finally win something, but even then, I'm still not entirely sold on the presentation so far in AEW. But yeah, there's some solid enough stuff, but just nothing stand out.
Yeah, I agree. I felt like it was just a whatever, other than the main and the beginning edition of Dynamite. Every hotel has the Takeshita chair. You just got to find yours, is what I think after watching the Ospreay segment. It really, really, really pissed me off. So our solution is we just make it not for a title. Then what's the point of putting the title on the guy? If you're why would you not want the title if you're Ospreay? That's the second most prestigious title. He's fought for a tournament for that title, but he doesn't want to fight. That's so stupid. Just give the title to Takeshita. Are we that guys? It's easy. It's easy. It's easy.
They have to do more.
Shut up!
With
No!
Protoshita.
I'm gonna stab myself.
Protokata.
Well, good news for you. He's proto-dead, his ankle is, so we don't have to worry about any of that for the foreseeable future.
Trust me, I was ecstatic.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. I want to say best wishes to Kyle Fletcher. I hope your ankle doesn't hurt too bad. But, really, really, really just deplorable stuff but from the House of Khan there with the booking decisions that we're doing for Takeshita. What do you mean? You don't give him the title and then you built this Will Ospreay Mox feud, but you know you can't have either lose. You don't want Mox to lose the title because you don't want to give it to Ospreay. So it's like, we're going to make it non-title. What's the point? Titles matter! Titles matter. It's something I always hate. Like, I hate that. Whatever. I thought.
I get why Mox would agree to it.
Yeah.
Mox is the most prideful motherfucker in the world. Even if he didn't, scratch and claw his way to that thing, which he did, I feel like he would still put it on the line just for bragging rights and to say that he beat Ospreay in a title defense.
Yep. But whatever. I like the Tekla Mina match, not match of the year or anything like that. I really like Tekla's in-ring work. I think she's getting better and better. Every match.
That one was fun. I like the promo on Collision that it led to. So
yeah.
Nice.
But sorry, go ahead.
No, I think I was about to say the same thing you were.
There's nothing else on the show. There's nothing else to really harp home about, I think, other than obviously the main event.
The main event is a match of the year. Oh my god, brothers! I want you to hear me out here, okay?
I'm listening.
Look, I know that Roosh, it has been difficult to work with, right? I've heard the stories, I've heard the rumors, but I would say two things. One, I don't care. Even if they are true, I would just work with him. And I would put my world championship on him and never take it off. I fucking love Roosh so much. I love him more than maybe any wrestler on the AEW roster right now.
Oh man!
And I've missed him so much. And what a perfect match to reintroduce him to folks. It's a shame that fucking rat bastard Darby Allin got a roll-up win, which in my opinion should be stricken from the history books. But it did.
His shoulder was up. His shoulder was up.
It did look convincing though. It did look like Roosh did genuinely get caught by surprise. Unlike some other roll-up finishes. But yeah. God, this was everything I wanted. Just absolutely ragdolling this sack of potatoes around. Roosh, he gets it, man. He gets it.
It's like when you saw the graphic go up for this on Collision last week. It was one of those things where it's like, yes, the match that makes 100% sense. The man who does not care about his health and the man who doesn't care about his opponent's health. Let's put those two in a chamber and see what happens. And Roosh was just, this was nasty.
I want to die. And then Roosh is like, I also want you to die.
Yeah, I also want you to die. This is everything you want in a pro wrestling match. This would be a match I think I would show to somebody who's never seen not okay, this is the intro, but if it's someone's I want to see an AEW match. I want to see what's different about this thing. I'd be like, yeah, watch this and tell me this doesn't look like it hurts. Tell me that these two idiots don't want to kill each other. And I love
the same energy as the Roosh Danielson match from
True, 100%.
You know, it's the same energy, but it's even more shocking because Darby allows Roosh to do stuff to him that Danielson would never allow. So
I love
it. Just it really goes to show that like there is something so visceral about, I think, the kinds of performers that Roosh and Darby are, that like the crowd, who I think for the most part were like pretty iffy on this show, really like, I think kind of just couldn't contain themselves for this. Like I feel like they were really just like in a fervor of emotion. You know, there was they you know, started a fuck ice chant, which like granted they're in Minnesota, so I mean that does make sense, but also like Brody King was not on the show.
Yeah.
And that is in AEW at least been very associated with Brody King, but like, and they started it for this match, which I saw some people like asking like, oh, why is that? This doesn't really make sense. Like neither Roosh or Darby have really made that a thing. I mean, other than I guess Roosh is from Mexico, and you know they might assume that you know he's more affected by that. But really, I think, and I saw a little bit of a Matt D write up about this, which I think that he's a genius for a lot of things, and highly recommend his writing to anybody.
Yes.
But he had a short little bit on this on Twitter. He was like, just the fuck ice chants in regards to this match, at least, seemed like just a kind of release of energy that like is necessary for how just like overstimulating it is, you know, to see what Roosh and Darby are doing. You know, it's a kind of like it's a very sort of like primitive reaction to have, like just like, oh shit, the guy, you fucking, you know, rammed his skull into the steps and now he's bleeding everywhere, and fuck ice, you know, like it's just all this stuff all at once, you know.
Yeah.
And it was really exciting to watch, just as a viewer from home. Even I felt that kind of fervor. So,
well, 100%, and it's also like this is just like dirty, ugly, like it just like every move looks like God kind of professional wrestling, to the point of like it's nasty, and we're gonna get a chant that is very abrasive and in your face for an abrasive and in your face match. I also think it's a fervor, again, it's a fervor of energy, like you were saying, it's a response thing of like, this is the alternative, much like, you know, that's an alternative sentiment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I saw some video essay a while back ago, and I forget who from. I think it might have been Wrestling with the Narrative, who did a Roosh like primer kind of video, and what he said has kind of stuck with me about whenever I think about Roosh. Is like he is a throwback to like the kinds of luchadors that were like made their whole careers based off of how great they looked, soaked in blood on the cover of a magazine. just completely like, you know, all gnarled up, and and that's just the exact image that I have every time I see him. And yeah, I know this is probably not going to lead to, you know, bigger and better things for Roosh. You know, I've played this game so many times now with him. And, you know, I'm always disappointed to see how little follow-up him or the rest of La Facción Ingobernable gets. But, you know, for these brief little spurts, man, he really does remind you that there's not quite any wrestler like him.
For sure.
Roosh is awesome, dude.
And then immediately after the jackknife pin, Darby Allin barely survives an absolute beating just to get dropped on his head by Dunkzilla. And we end the show.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. What a perfect angle to end on. Man, that snatch up pile driver from behind, brother. Unkzilla is the real star of Aussie Open, and I will not be silent about it anymore.
Yeah, some people were blaming him for Fletcher getting injured now, and to that I say, grow up, touch grass, and that's me saying stuff kindly. I want to say what I'd like to say. I'm not going to say on air.
Well, the dumpy giveth and the dumpy taketh away, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, look, he can't help that the movie they've done it 1,000 times that Kyle wasn't in the right position for. Like, stuff happens, man. They've done that move for years and years and years. Second off, how do you feel about them not referred to as Aussie Open, but as the Don Callis family on Collision?
It is kind of some bullshit, but, I mean, Logan, we have to acknowledge that Aussie Open has not been a thing for coming up on 3 years now.
They're always a thing in my heart. They'll never not be a thing.
I know. We're old men now. We still think of Aussie Open when we think of Kyle Fletcher, and there's a whole crop of AW fans who that's
don't even know
not a thing
at
all for them. Yeah.
And they should respect their elders and go learn their damn history is what I gotta say to that. No, but like my thing is like you don't have to play the Aussie Open theme. I'm not asking for them to like. I'm just saying you could be like here.
If you're gonna call them Aussie Open, then you have to play the theme.
They could come out to the thing. They could say Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, the Don Callis family. Aussie Open, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they I wouldn't be surprised if it was a call from the two of those guys.
Well, if they made that call, they're wrong. The wrestlers are wrong. If those two are in a team together, they are Aussie Open. I don't make the rules. You teamed for 7 or 8 years. If you ever team up again, you are Aussie Open. I don't need them to walk out to the same theme, but they are Aussie Open if they're teaming together.
One is now.
Yeah, one of them's a chud, and the other one's like the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know which one's which. Me and Cooper know in our heart of hearts. Who should really be getting this push? Maybe actually Kyle did hurt his ankle. I hope he doesn't. I hope it's a nothing thing. But if he did, they should just give Mark the TNT title.
Care that he broke his ankle.
But anyway, Collision Minute.
It's the Collision Minute. Hey, Collision was pretty fucking good this week. I loved it a lot, actually. And there is one match of the year on it, which is always exciting. But yeah, so starting off, we were coming to you live from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So I guess, I don't know, Seth Rollins is from Iowa.
I've been to Iowa a bunch of times.
No, all right.
Never been to Cedar Rapids. Des Moines is pretty cool. The Cyclones. They got a really good burger restaurant that was inspired a TV show, one of the 80s one, not Roseanne or something like that, but
is what?
Yeah, it's called I'm forgetting its name, but it's under a bridge and they serve loose meat burgers. I used to have a shirt about it. It's
what?
Yeah, it's like you take the equivalent of taco meat and you just put it on a burger. And it was a very famous thing. It looks like a hole in the wall, but it is very.
It's just like a sloppy Joe without the sauce,
basically. But also, they were absurdly cheap. They'd be $3, and they're really good.
Cool. That is cool.
Okay, so AEW coming to you from the mention of Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Come on,
Cooper is so tired of these 3-hour shows.
We opened up with a rematch for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Divine Dominion defending their belts against former champs Babes of Wrath. This was really good. I liked it a lot, actually. I thought once again a pretty good Harley Cameron performance. I'm capable of change. I contain multitudes, and as long as I think she, maybe doesn't talk, I think I'm okay with Harley Cameron. But the Babes did lose this one and are presumably going to be splitting for at least a little while. Or at least that was the impression that the promo that they cut after made. I think that's fine. I think that's the best direction for both of them, quite frankly, especially Willow, to really focus in on having a memorable TBS title reign, which unfortunately I have to say she has not really had the chance to have yet. So, then I'm going to skip the Brawling Birds Mina Shirakawa segment, but they are a trio now who are presumably going to be going up against the Triangle of Madness later on. But next match we had was friends of the show, MXM, brought along Johnny TV, Johnny Consejo, Johnny Bald, more like, to face the Rascals, the only acceptable member of the Rascals, Myron Reed, who I thought gave a really good effort in his debut singles outing. I know he was in at least a couple of the tags earlier on, but they have kind of shunted him away from that in favor of using the Xavier and Wentz team for the Rascals, which I don't know why. But if it leads to him getting more singles shots, that's cool, because I really like Myron, and he really showed out here against Johnny TV. Johnny, he's always a good hand, and gave quite a lot to him. He's missed out on the Starship Pain, and Reed hits a cutter and the springboard 450 for the win. Then it is the third and final match of the year from AEW this week. I loved the Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Daniel Garcia versus Private Party. I thought that this really did exceed my expectations. And Garcia in particular, this is the best Daniel Garcia performance I've seen in ages. I feel like he was really, truly motivated to give Private Party a really great match. And I felt like Private Party also kind of had a boot up their ass, as a result of this. And they go at it with a real kind of sort of like brothers now turned on each other kind of thing, which I thought in the build up was kind of underwhelming, because I was like, I don't really know that these guys have much chemistry together, or I'm sure they do have real life friendship and story and history, but it didn't come across on TV. But I will say all that kind of faded away in the match. I think in the match they sold it really well. I would definitely go and watch this from this particular episode of Collision.
Heard that.
Up next, squash match. Mina Shirakawa and the Brawling Birds, as mentioned previously, going against some local competitors, including Nixie XS, who I have not ever watched a full match from, but I do see her on Twitter quite a bit. And interesting indie wrestler. But she has some other local competitor teammates, Amina Belmont and Haven Harris. But they all got squashed, and Tekla came out from the crowd to talk some shit to them, specifically targeting Mina, saying that she was going to end up like Tony if she didn't stop fucking around with the Triangle of Madness. I do love Tekla. Then the Psycho Killer, Tommaso Ciampa, against Ace Austin of the Bang Bang Gang. I liked this. Not quite match of the year, I think, but really good tune-up match for Ciampa, but also kind of a chance for Ace Austin to get some reps in. They put on a very, I thought, 2017 PWG kind of match.
Yeah.
It's kind of the best way I could think of it. Which, if you're into that stuff, which I am in doses, then this is up your alley. Then we get that Babes of Wrath promo, where for now they decide to go their own ways, but they will, still remain friends, remain Babes of Wrath. And then we had, of course, that now that we know, perhaps ill-fated Aussie Open reunion match with Kyle and Mark versus the tag faction of the Rascals, Wentz and Xavier. This match was really good, but then that there is kind of the ankle injury that Kyle got that has been sort of hovering over it, and you could tell in the moment too, like they were kind of antsy about it and didn't quite know how to maneuver around. Mark did pick up the slack quite a bit. He gets this massive enziguri on Wentz, and gets up Xavier for as I think Excalibur calls it, close your eyes and count to nothing. But real Mark Davis fans know that is not what that move is called.
We all know.
Then he picks up the win on behalf of his team and the Don Callis family. Then, rounding things out for your main event, it was for the AEW International title. The Jet, Kevin Knight, has been making a lot of buzz lately, trying to break into the singles scene in addition to his teams with Jet Speed and Jet Speed plus Mystico. And so he's going at the champ, the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. I thought this was a great showing from Knight. I did not, however, love it as much as I did their initial clash in the Continental Classic, and that was kind of what was hanging over my experience of watching this match. I thought that first confrontation was really, really kind of lightning in a bottle, and the first big, like, oh shit, they have stuff planned for Kevin kind of moment. And this was good, don't get me wrong, but I think that it was not... I didn't see like a drastic step up that I maybe expected. So maybe that's on me, but I just, I thought it was a pretty decent main event, but nothing more than that. So, and that is Collision.
Well, before we move on, I can't help but you got my mind ringing about Iowa. There is one last thing about the hellscape.
What?
One last thing about the hellscape of Iowa. Do you guys know the painting American Gothic? Do you know the American Gothic painting?
I do know the American Gothic painting. Where could this possibly be going?
Well, I have friends that live in Iowa that live 5 minutes from the house.
They made the painting?
No, they live 5 minutes from the house that's in the painting, and you can take photos dressed as the people from the painting, and I have done that, and there are photos flying around. That's the only other thing Iowa's known for. That and cornfields.
You know how I said in our group chat that I thought that me going on about the Meltdown was like a top 5 bit in the history of the show?
This is the worst.
I think that the Iowa bit is a bottom 5.
I can't. Well, you were like, you should have never said, "What is there in Iowa?" And I was like, "Well, I know a lot about Iowa."
It's an invitation.
It is to me. Well,
it's a rhetorical question.
Moving on. We are going.
Which I'm pissed off now that we're going to talk about this bracket that the Meltdown's not in.
It deservedly shouldn't be. Two worst things that ever has hit this podcast. Moments to talk about Iowa and the meltdown.
The greatest crime of being the gimmick killer Cooper Prater is that you are always right too early. And one day you two will come around to my point of view on this.
You say that, but actually Jack's right too early, and I can't wait for you to come around to Newmoid and the smart bastard.
I'm already on.
I think eventually. I think Cooper is with me. He always says Jake's got a certain je ne sais quoi about him. I think I have to convince everyone about the Houston dupe. But I'm going to keep working on it.
All right. The first matchup of the round of 32. Stan Hansen's Western Lariat versus Arn Anderson's Spinebuster. A Cooper versus Logan matchup. As much as I love Double A, there's no way I'm picking against Hansen. Give me the Western Lariat.
It's a good lineup, but and the Spinebuster puts up a good fight, I think. But that Western Lariat, it just can't be beat. It's gonna go far. I don't know what's gonna stop it, but it's not gonna be the Spinebuster.
Jack?
I just keep thinking about all of the amazing Western Lariats hit in not my lifetime that I've seen in my lifetime. That I can imagine so clearly in my head him nailing all the four pillars, him nailing guys like Saruta, him nailing folks back in the territory days. All these people put down by the Western Lariat, and I think like Cooper said, I think that one. Yep. I think like Cooper said, I think it's going to go very far, and I think I'm going to stick with it for now, no doubt.
Him nailing Johnny Ace with it. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's one of the legendary.
Moving on. I think this actually will be pretty quick because we had such deliberate anger in the last episode. The Package Pile Driver, done by one Kevin Steen, versus the Michinoku Driver. As much as
I don't have a dog in this fight. This is not my picks.
I'm going Package.
Really? I just think a perfectly executed Michinoku Driver looks so fucking good. And like I said last time, it's Taka, and I love Taka. But genuinely, I think a Package Pile Driver, we're going with the Steen one, and he did normally hit it well, but I think sometimes, it can look better other times. Like sometimes it looks better than others, and I think when Taka was doing the Michinoku Driver, it was always just like a sight to behold. The smoothness and the impact of it, and I'm sticking with that myself.
But did he ever hit it through ladders, brother? That's the question.
There's gotta be.
Cooper?
He was in the 90s WWF.
They were doing all kinds of shit in Michinoku Pro.
And that too, yeah.
But they weren't using Home Depot ladders, brother.
That is true.
Hear me out for this, okay? There's maybe 2 seconds look at somebody being put in the Package Pile Driver, and I think it's gotta feel kind of good. And then before the drop, when the drop happens, I think that's bad. I think, you know what? I don't know. Kevin Steen. I think he's a good cuddler. I feel like he's, I think he's got nice, comfy arms. But
it feels good to be held like that.
yeah. But Taka, on the other hand, there's no part of a Michinoku Driver that I feel like feels good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty immediate.
So you're going with the Michinoku Driver?
Reasoning.
I'm going for the Michinoku Driver.
All right. Cooper's reasoning is he didn't get cuddled. He got too cuddled in the Package Pile Driver.
Exactly.
It's too cuddly.
I'm too comfy.
He's too comfy. Well, we're going to move on to some more comfy wrestling finishers. The Doomsday Device, as done by the Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors.
Not comfy at all.
Versus the O-Face, done by one Athena, or Ember Moon if you like the Eclipse. I love
Big top rope ones.
I love my fallen goddess, but there's no way I'm not picking the Doomsday Device. That move's so good that every like big person tag team, including the Divine Dominion, uses it now. So
That's right, they do. Yeah. I gotta go Doomsday probably. It looks better more of the time, I think. O-Face, I said this last episode. There most of the time actually it looks a little messy, but it's those ones when it does hit like really sharp that make you kind of like go back. Yeah, Doomsday Device, I think it's hard to mess it up. I don't know really that anybody has a bad one, especially not the Road Warriors.
Jack.
Yeah, the Doomsday Device is just really, really good. And I think, I mean, the O-Face is spectacular. These are both pretty cool, like, and similar. I mean, not similar, but these are both just very, like, spectacular top rope moves. But I think the Doomsday Device just looks like they could really fucking kill somebody. And that's been the way it always is. It's just very special. And like y'all said, it stood the test of time, too. I mean, it's stuck in a lot of people's brains. And while the O-Face, the Eclipse, is something I'm sure, you know, I mean, it's amazing in its own right. I think the Doomsday Device it's going to have to advance for me just based on vibes.
Well, the Doomsday Device is moving on. Next round matchup, Spirit Bomb, done by one Keith Lee, versus the Cop Killer, done by Homicide.
Oof.
I'm going to let Cooper lead off here.
I don't like that they're against each other, but and I did say last time when we decided that this would be Keith Lee's Spirit Bomb instead of Under Shitter's Last Ride, that I would not be able to live with myself if I didn't see Keith Lee move forward in this tournament. But he has moved forward to this round. I think that's about enough for the Spirit Bomb, because it's going to take a lot to make me go against the Cop Killer. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Jack?
The Cop Killer is insane.
Yeah,
he's really like crunching people. Yeah,
I've seen it, brother.
I mean, I love the way. I do love the what we talked about last time with Keith Lee, and the his moves are just like the Spirit Bomb, but also the Big Bang Catastrophe, and also a lot of the stuff he does just has like a crazy bounce to it and impact to it, and that's awesome. But yeah, like you get fucking crunched with the Cop Killer, and that, I mean, it's built up like a crazy rep. I think something like a move to be feared in that sort of unregulated era of indie wrestling. I think that's going to move forward for me. It's a just legendary piece of work, and Homicide is a freak for doing it to so many people.
I probably would have picked the Cop Killer. I don't know. I'm so sentimental about the Spirit Bomb, but I know the Cop Killer is a better move. But I love that bounce.
Yeah, we look at the Spirit Bomb, the same way that the protagonists in sci-fi movies look at their dead wives.
The Buckshot Lariat versus the Sharpshooter. I feel like we can say it on 3 and know what our answer is going to be on this one. Cooper maybe not, but I feel like the other two. Are you ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Sharpshooter.
I'm picking the Sharpshooter.
Scorpion Deathlock. Yeah.
I'm a traditionalist. What can I say? I don't know.
We were in round 1 talking about how me and Jack were like, we don't even like the Buckshot that much. We hate the Steiner recliner.
What was it up again?
The Steiner recliner.
Oh my god.
that's the easiest pick of the whole tournament. But I like the buckshot lariat.
I like it.
I
it's just
like it more than the sharpshooter now.
It's just hit or miss.
I'm not that big of a gonna be that big of a shooter for Hangman.
Yeah. So. Roderick Strong's End of Heartache versus the One-Winged Angel by Kenny Omega.
Oh man.
I love End of Heartache, but this is the biggest setup of all time. This is the One-Winged Angel.
Yeah. The One-Winged Angel, I said last time, it is the modern, it's probably the most legendary finisher in modern wrestling. I'm not voting against the One-Winged Angel. It's awesome.
Yeah, One-Winged Angel, once again, only one person's ever kicked out of it. So, I mean, that's about as definitive as you can get. And I'm sure the End of Heartache has also relatively few people who've kicked out of it, but certainly not, less than one.
True. The Midnight Express's Vegomatic versus Bob Backlund's Crossface Chicken Wing. We'll let Cooper choose first.
This is a very anti-Cooper pick because I love the Midnight, but I also love Mr. Bob Backlund. Do I like the impact of the Vegomatic more, or do I like the frantic, ripping of the chicken wing more? I feel like God. It's the chicken wing.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm picking the chicken wing.
It's the chicken wing.
That's all I have to say about it.
It was always going to be the chicken wing. It's my favorite submission maybe ever.
It's really good. Yeah. It's very sick.
Wow, that's big.
I love the name.
That might be the sleeper pick.
It's the most pro wrestling.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the most pro wrestling submission where it's like you see that and you're like, that wouldn't work, but then it kind of does. It just looks crazy. You got the craziest guy to ever live hitting it. Yeah, Backlund. I mean, anybody doing it just looks like the positioning looks crazy, but of all the people Bob Backlund to be doing that is I don't know. It's so underrated. I love the crossface chicken wing. But moving on, the Bomaye knee done by Shinsuke Nakamura versus Violence is Forever's Chasing the Dragon. And this also feels, as much as I love my boys, like a setup. It's the Bomaye.
Yeah. The Bomaye is just an undisputed tier above, I think, for this. We'll see what can dethrone it in the future, but for now, that is a amazing finisher.
Bomaye is, I said it before, the best knee strike in all of wrestling history. Chasing the Dragon is I don't know, maybe 15 tag finishers, it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. I like it, and VIF has the best version of it, but it's not even my favorite tag finisher of all time.
Well, I think also it's when you break it down, it's literally just a brain buster with a kick in the head right before, which is just sick, but it's not you're not breaking the mold with that one like you are with the Bomaye. Moving on. The type.
What did Chasing the Dragon beat? Good question.
Oh, the F5, brother.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, man.
Jack decided to become a terrorist and put that in.
Man.
That's the diverticulitis in Fight Forever, brother. We have the Tiger Driver 91 versus the Clothesline from Hell.
Ooh.
Well, that is difficult.
Not for me. Here's the deal. We already have the best lariat ever. As Lutch, I think the clothesline from hell is an awesome lariat. It doesn't beat the Western lariat for me. We already have one. And the Tiger Driver 91, I mean, it's a move where I'm like, yeah, he killed him. Every time I see him do it, and somehow he didn't. Which means it's a really freaking good wrestling move. So, I'm going Tiger Driver.
Oh, but you're not... Are you considering how amazing the clothesline from hell has looked when I first played SmackDown versus Raw in 2009? They were picking my creator wrestler character.
That is a good point.
And that is why I've got to go with the clothesline from hell for this.
I'm going to let you know, Cooper, whatever decision you make, Noah Dangbus Phillips is watching very intently right now.
Oh, I know. Which is why I'm going with the clothesline from hell.
Oh!
The upset of the century.
I'm going to let you know whenever we actually blow up and people go to look back at this episode and they see us pick this, we're going to lose all credibility.
That's a good ass move. The Tiger Driver. Tiger Driver is the lamest of all the super finishers.
Well, all the AEW marks are gonna leave the podcast in droves after this.
Man. Burning Hammer Beta and Gonzo Bomb Beta and the crazy choke slams even are beta.
All right, the Kokeshi versus the Torture Rack. Jack, do you want to lead us off on this one?
Yeah, I just can't vote against like Hanma's big ass, brown ass, smiling ass head flying through the air. With the blonde hair, with the fucking like deathmatch scars on his forehead. That is an image I can never That's an image I can never forget. And the rack is spectacular. But I'm a New Japan guy, and I love Hanma Mania, and I'm voting for the Kokeshi.
Cooper?
Now, Kokeshi does make me happy, as it does everybody. But I saw at the last ever DPW show a incredibly skinny young man get absolutely wrapped the fuck up by just a fan who, quite frankly, should have gotten in that fight. And it was incredible. I had never seen anything like it. And that is forever etched in my memory as one of the great torture acts of all time. The torture act's great, dude.
It is amazing.
Rack 'em!
On it too, the way that Lex did.
Rack 'em!
So.
Honest to God, I forgot. I was like, when you said at the last CPW show, I'm like, I don't remember anybody hitting the rack. And then when you said fan, it like clicked. It was like a deep-seated memory just like turned back. Now, I love nothing more than to say, rack 'em! Rack 'em! And Cooper
Rack 'em up.
just proved a great moment to me that I genuinely forgot, and now I'm like smiling thinking about. But I love Hanma's smile and his Kokeshi, and so that's why I'm going with the Kokeshi to move on. Jack's not even listening. He's tuned out. He has no reaction to this.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm very happy.
He's tired. It's his bedtime.
No, listen. Hanma's going all the way. we should if he wins this shit, we gotta DM him and let him know, because he is always very upset about his status in the company and backstage comments. He's like, "Oh no, I've never lost any more than I've lost now."
Well,
I'm getting into the G1 this year.
The underdog
I'll
story.
find a way. Yeah.
well,
He'll win something.
he's going against the clothesline for hell next round, so Godspeed to him.
Oh God, I hate tournaments.
The Styles Clash, done by obviously Mr. AJ Styles versus, I don't even gotta say the name, Brain Buster, done by 1L Generico. I'm gonna put Cooper on the spot first.
Easy. This is Brainbuster. It's not a question.
Yeah, the Styles Clash is cool, but it's not even Styles' best finisher. And the Brain Buster is fucking, it's great. It's great, and it's winning.
It's the Brain Buster.
All
right. Aja Kong's Hurricane versus Brody King's Gonzo Bomb.
Ooh, that's good.
I assume. Actually, I'll start this one. As much as I love the Gonzo, I'm here for variety. I feel like we have a lot of pile drivers, and I think Aja Kong is a beast and kills people, so I'm going with the Hurricane.
Yeah, as much as I didn't vote for the Hurricane the first round, I feel like I need to redeem myself here because that move is definitely better than the Brody King Gonzo Bomb. Even if that is a great move in its own right, but get pounded in the face by the fist of the Jungle Empress, and that's or was it she was Emperor? Fuck. Either way, yes. So that's she's Aja Kong goated, Hurricane goated. It's winning.
I am so glad, Logan, that you said the Hurricane first because I didn't want to have to go against you for it. But yeah, and I love Brody King. I love his Gonzo Bomb, but it's not even my favorite Gonzo Bomb.
Yeah.
So,
Nah.
I really didn't want to put too many super finishers unless like with the Tiger Driver, it was just because it's been used so many times now that like I feel like it's fair game a little bit more than like other ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Burning Hammer would have not. That should have been disqualified.
Yeah. And the OG Gonzo Bomb shouldn't have even been created in the first place. Yeah, that move wasn't even supposed to be created, brother. That was an accident. That was a shoot. All right. Let me send. Yeah.
I was just thinking I should have added the PK to this. PK would have been great. PK is awesome.
Would have been great.
But anyway, alas.
The Cobra Twist as done by Inoki Bombaye versus the Babe with the Power Bomb. Let's see it. Let's see it, Cooper. Cooper, go ahead and tell me what you're going to pick. In front of God himself, who are you going to pick?
I love women. I'm giving it to Willow Nightingale. It's the Babe with the Power Bomb, brother.
Oh man!
All right,
she yanks people up for it, man.
Let's see if Jack respects women.
I love women, but I also love Inoki. And I love what Inoki represents in a very deep and philosophical manner, and I'm going with the Cobra Twist. I think Inoki loved women.
Does Logan even like women?
Don't do this to me. First of all, I picked a move done by a woman the last round, proving that I do in fact like and love women. With that being said, I'm going with the Cobra Twist. Inoki Bombaye, and as much as I love the Babe with the Power Bomb, I think there was a better Power Bomb that's already gotten beaten. So, no offense to I do love the Dr. Bomb though. That does suck. This is why these things suck.
But like hey, Cobra Twist absolutely deserves it. I'm not going to fight that.
Speaking of the if you love women, the Scorpion Death Drop versus the Northern Lights Bomb.
I'll make this just straight up. This is the Northern Lights.
Yeah, it's the Northern Lights Bomb for me.
Yeah, no, that shit is amazing.
I love. Shout out Stinger. Thank you, Sting.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sting.
No, Northern Lights Bomb is. Oh, that's a good move. I gotta look up clips of the Northern Lights Bomb and watch it a few times while we're going over the next one.
Yeah, I just was popping myself and looking it up during the bracket earlier, just that shouldn't be allowed. That should be banned.
Damn, good move.
Cooper just wincing knowing what he just saw. He knows the exact clip.
It just gets better and better, really. I mean,
Oh! She dropped out her fucking head.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, she did.
That exact reaction is going to be Jack's reaction when Nagata comes out during his wedding while he watches Bloodsport downstairs. Oh my god. Alright. What were you going to say, Cooper?
Oh, no, I was just saying, I'm glad that Jack voluntarily watches compilations of that move for pleasure. Because I cannot. I get secondhand neck pain from it. Yeah.
Oh god.
All right, we're in our last two matchups, boys. We've been flying by.
We're determined. We're on a mission.
The Big Pressure, done by One Sword Strickland, also known as the JML Driver, versus Randy Savage's Flying Elbow.
Ooh.
Cooper.
I think the more... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Jack. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think the more I think about it, and I thought this last week, and the thoughts have been sort of bubbling in my brain since then. The flying elbow to me is almost like the pro wrestling finisher. And I feel like I'm going to frankly struggle. That is the quintessential, finisher to me. I think I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to be picking that one, I think, against a lot, unless you all stop me right here.
Cooper?
Yeah. I advocated for Big Pressure last round, and it's a great move, I think. It's one of a variety of great moves that Swerve has. But yeah, I mean, Flying Elbow, not only is it just good on its own, it's permeated pop culture. That is, I think, for so many people who are not even wrestling fans, they know what an elbow drop is, and they think of the Randy Savage elbow drop. And I need to put it through, if nothing else, then for 13-year-old Cooper putting the big elbow down on his friend on their trampoline. So.
The Big Elbow. It was going to be the Flying Elbow for me. I was hoping Cooper would pick Big Pressure just so we could have some maybe parody, but yeah, it's there's something about seeing a man fly through the air, all the flashing lights, the cameras coming out, taking photos, twinkling as the stars, as for a moment time stops, you think he may never come down to just crush you right in your larynx.
Savage lands it so snug, really just it seems like he's forcing his elbow down even more in that last second,
Yeah.
It is funny, it is a move that has been done by so many other wrestlers, but there's maybe only one other wrestler that touches Savage's elbow, and that's Kairi Sane. That's the only one that I think is even close.
Very different ways of doing it.
Yes,
which I think is maybe what sets it apart as the only other really standout one.
The way Kairi drops, it looks like it's you just drop an anchor onto a person.
That's a great way to put it.
It's she becomes the anchor.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, after all those great matches, we had the absolute deplorable one. The fact that both these are in the round of 32. The Kill Switch versus the Death Rider.
Still pick the Meltdown?
Cooper, what do you pick?
The Death Rider. Kill Switch fucking sucks.
Jack?
I'm still picking the kill switch. I like that move. I feel like this is like a kid.
I'm also picking the kill switch. So.
Oh my god.
I like the kill switch.
Yeah.
Children.
It's more. I like it better. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've just seen the Death Rider so much, and there's a lot of good ones, but I also think of like a lot of bad ones where it's like even the bad kill switches most of the time, like it's not on them, it's on the person taking the move. You know. And most people know how to take it nowadays.
No, that's not true. It looks like shit regardless. That's awful.
You can't just say shit.
No.
I think they're both moves. I think they're both moves with flaws, but the kill switch is a better name than the Death Rider.
Is that really
also not true?
That's funny. That's a really funny thing to say.
Well, moving on.
Let's get it done.
Oh wait, are we finishing the bracket today?
We can. We're only 2 hours 10 minutes in.
I thought we were just doing the round of 32 today.
We can finish. Hey, we don't want it to be fucking April Madness, bro.
Cooper, you want to finish the bracket today?
Cooper is like, thank God we're finally ending under.
This promotional period. He cannot overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
What did he? So we have to do it. We're finishing it. I couldn't. He like glitched out from me.
Yeah, we're finishing it.
All right.
That's what it.
The Western Lariat versus the Michinoku Driver. Jack, I saw Jack like wince. It's the Western Lariat, Jack. It's the Western Lariat. Cooper?
I'm still going with the Michinoku Driver. I just think it's great. I think it's really great. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just wanted to hear Jack commit heresy, and he's overruled because it's the Western Lariat.
Fuck. Okay.
The Doomsday Device versus the Cop Killer.
Ooh.
Oh, that's bad.
Go ahead, Cooper.
Put me here. It's the Cop Killer.
Jack.
Oh man. I want to say the Doomsday Device, but I can't. I'm sticking with the Cop Killer. God damn, that is a good finishing move.
I don't even need to say anything because Cop Killer moves on. I think I might have picked the Doomsday just because I don't know, but I've seen a lot of bad people hit the Doomsday at the same time, so where it's like most people who are hitting the Cop Killer are not going to mess it up. Unless you're Cody Rhodes. But then, or Logan Paul. The Sharpshooter versus the one.
He's doing it now?
He did a couple times. Yeah. The One-Winged Angel versus the Sharpshooter. The One-Winged Angel.
I do love the Sharpshooter. I think there's so many great finishes based around the Sharpshooter in Brett's career. But again, like I said, there's like of all the 2010s, 2020s finishing moves, I think the One-Winged Angel is the very best. And the most sort of iconic, the most legendary, has the most, sort of aura built up around it. Like Cooper said, I mean, they protected all these years, and it looks like a move that could really cause that. So I'm sticking with it. I think, I'm sticking with it.
Cooper?
More so than anything, I mean, about the moves themselves, I do want to point out, too, these are, I think, two of maybe some of my favorite moves for drawing out drama in the finishing stretches of matches. I think, like, just the setups of them are both lend themselves so well to, like, that kind of edge of your seat. Oh, shit, is he going to turn over? Oh, shit, is he going to actually drop it this time? So, it just goes to show that Kenny and Brett are both, the best of their respective eras. But, for me, it's the One-Winged Angel. I mean, I would be lying to myself if I said anything otherwise.
The Crossface Chicken Wing versus the Bomaye Knee. I feel like God. I don't know about you boys, but I feel like God. I think it's the best, man. I'm going the chicken wing. Jack?
I'm sticking with the Beaumaye, and now I'm afraid. Does this mean Beaumaye versus One Winged Angel in the next round? Because that is going to be a tough one. If it wins, let's see what Cooper says.
Not going to let that determine my answer. I was very tempted. I'm also going Beaumaye.
Oh, yeah, you piece of crap.
I love a strike, brother. You know me.
All right, speaking of strikes, the clothesline from hell versus the Kokeshi. Let's see where Jack's allegiance lies. Jack, what do you pick?
The matchup from hell.
I'm sticking with Kokeshi. I'm a New Japan lifer, bro.
Cooper?
Okay. I like Hanma, but I don't like him more than I like the clothesline from Bell.
Oh, rip. Okay.
I'm going with the Kokeshi.
Yes! It's staying alive.
I like the clothesline from hell, but there's a better big Southern man who does it better. It's a very simple move, but it's a pedantic. But like, I don't know, man. One of them is my favorite guy of all time. The other guy I do have learned to love, but I hated for a long time. And
it's going all the way.
When you listen back to this, know who your real friend is.
I want to let you know the Kokeshi is officially the crack addict of this year's bracket.
Kokeshi is it's the official pro wrestling finisher of Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast.
We're gonna change the logo.
We're sponsored. We should.
The Brain Buster versus the Hurricane by Aja Kong. How much do you love women, Cooper Prater? Let's find out.
Oh man!
Sorry, it was the Hurricane versus what?
Brain Buster.
Oh, okay.
Done by El Generico, and as someone who's good friends with El Hijo de Generico, it's gonna be a hard one for you. And I'm making you choose first. You are not weaseling your way out of this if me and Jack lose one option.
I don't like that. I don't like this at all. Well, look, I've advocated for Raja Kong really hard so far. Okay, look. God made the devil just for fun. But when he wanted the real thing, he made the Brain Buster.
I knew it!
I can't lie to myself, dude.
Oh man!
Don't worry, Cooper. I'm in the same boat. I'm also picking the Brain Buster.
All right.
Crap! I think a poor Aj is getting swept out. I was picking the Brain Buster.
Look, there's nothing wrong. If you're 16 of one of the 16 greatest moves.
We still have one women's move.
Speaking of one women's move left, it's the Cobra Twist versus the Northern Lights Bomb.
Oh, that is actually difficult.
Not for me. It's the Northern Lights Bomb. It's the Northern Lights Bomb.
It's not difficult for me either. It's the Northern Lights.
I love Inoki, but like...
Fair enough.
Dude.
I think there's a lot of, like I've been saying with the Flying Elbow, I think there's a lot of charm to older finishers before they got so wild and flashy. But I think I have to agree with you all. I think the Northern Lights Bomb is just that damn good. It's that damn good that it's gonna proceed in the ranking.
And the final and the easiest Sweet 16 matchup, the Flying Elbow versus the Kill Switch. All right, boys, say it on 3.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Kills. No, Flying Elbow. Flying Elbow.
No.
Flying Elbow.
Kill Switch because I have no reason not to. So I'm gonna give it some dignity on its way out.
Guys,
Bye, Kill Switch. I love you more than I reasonably
Cooper
should.
didn't even say anything, so it could be the Kill Switch.
Cooper, please. Pull through.
I'm glad that this bit has ended. It's the flying elbow.
You know what's funny? I was meaning for us to all three say flying elbow, but I genuinely accidentally just reread Kill Switch when I said it the first time. That was a genuine accident.
I thought I was wondering.
No.
That was a legit.
A Cooper. We are in the Elite Eight. The Elite Eight moves are the Western Lariat, the Cop Killer, the One-Winged Angel, the Bomaye Knee, Kokeshi, Brain Buster, the Northern Lights Bomb, and the Flying Elbow. And are you guys?
That's pretty killer. That's
that's a great lineup.
The Western Lariat versus the Cop Killer. What could be the championship? Look, and this is what I'll state. You can hit the Western Lariat on any person at any moment. It takes some setup for the Cop Killer. And there's not a lot of great out of fighting of it, like as there is for like a sharpshooter or the One-Winged Angel. And for that reason, and for as many greats as is put down over the years, I'm going to go with the Western Lariat.
Yeah, in this case, so these were both my picks. And in this instance, I'm going to let my love of spontaneity run out. I think I'm going for Western Lariat.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough because, well, that's a good one.
No, I agree. It's just better. For all the same reasons as y'all. It's going a little bit further. Hanson might still be in play.
Well, moving on. Kenny Omega's One-Winged Angel versus Shinsuke Nakamura's Bomaye Knee.
Oh. God.
For the exact opposite reason, as I said before. In this move, you have a lot to play with on the setup, including that the setup for this move can turn into another signature close near fall move, which is always great. And the fighting and the struggle is always great because a lot of times to get out of it. There's one time where they'll struggle and then they'll just die. They just get hit but succumb to the god of professional wrestling. And there's not many better moves for me than the One-Winged Angel. And for that reason, I'm going to have to pick the One-Winged Angel.
I am so going to go with One-Winged Angel. I think the main reason, just going through my mind palace of all various Bomayes and knees that just get started, it is tainted a little bit by the recent Shinsuke runs.
Yeah.
With the Kinshasa and how lazy it seems like he's gotten with it. Which I've tried not to let influence me so far, but in this instance I have to, because Kenny has not yet had that problem with the One-Winged Angel. And the One-Winged Angel is just like the perfect Megadeth super finisher. So
especially because like for like some people, you can say it's like different people doing different moves, even though they're different names. Like they are practically the same move, the same setup. It's just Shinsuke's hitting it worse and worse and worse. So it like lightening it up, you know?
Yeah, I see them as the same move.
Yeah. Jack?
Yeah. I mean, I think I get that, but I think I just generally gravitate towards big striking moves more than the anything else, because I still want to pick Bomaye. It's so violent, I feel like. I mean, it's in the name, and I loved it for Nakamura's character during that time period. And yeah, Kenny's another one where like I love the One-Winged Angel so much, but I love Kreutz Wrath and I love V-Trigger and all these other moves that he does. But the Bomaye is Nakamura's like absolute kill move to me. So I'm going to stick with that, even if it's for no reason, just to say that I did.
Fair point.
Respectable.
Yeah.
The Kokeshi versus the face break shot. Oh, I mean the haluva kick. Oh, I mean the brain buster.
You peaked. That was completely not caught on the mic at all. Anyways, if I may go first, I'm gonna ask y'all a question.
State your case.
What's better than a brain buster than Hanma busting you with his own big ass brain with the Kokeshi?
So
that's what I have to say.
Cooper.
Let's end this bit.
Oh, fuck.
Brain buster.
God damn it. Okay.
The Cinderella run is over. It's the brain buster. Sorry, Jack.
Sucks.
Yes, finally.
Brother, I got your move to the Elite Eight. I don't know what you can complain about. That's
fair.
It got put against the top 5 move.
Yeah, what did it beat?
It beat the clothesline from hell, the torture rack, and the heart punch.
Legendary
run.
run.
Biggest fraud move I've ever seen.
The final matchup, and quite possibly the hardest, I think, of all of these. The Northern Lights Bomb. A move we have all seen and go, oh my god, why? Versus the quintessential classic move, the Flying Elbow. Cooper, you can go first.
Yeah. Well, we've said a lot about the Flying Elbow being like iconic, right? And that's true. But more so than that, I feel like the general theme of this bracket and what we have kind of been looking for mostly is what is the more brutal move, right? That's kind of been informing most of our decisions. We're not just bullshitting. So, I mean, it is great. But the Northern Lights Bomb is so fucking just awful to look at. And, I think ultimately, philosophically, wrestling maybe should be a little more ugly than beautiful. And I think that there's a beauty to the Flying Elbow that maybe undercuts it from moving past the Northern Lights Bomb for me.
All right, Jack.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But I do think, that the elbow was something that was kind of graceful for Savage, but ugly for his opponent. I mean, he landed hard and he landed tough, and I think it was really perfect for his character. I mean, much the same way that something is nuts as the Northern Lights Bomb is perfect for, someone as dangerous as Hakuto. But, I really, again, to me, the Flying Elbow is like the finisher of all time. It's that move you think of when it's something that'll end a match and look spectacular, that'll stick in your head is like a move above all the other moves you saw in that match. And I'm going for it. Let's wait and see what Logan has to say.
Oh, how the turntables have turned.
This is so hard. I love the argument for the Flying Elbow. I love, like what I said before, it feels like he's never going to come down. Like, it's like a picture-perfect wrestling move. Like, to the point where, the wrestler basically ended that movie by Aronofsky, basically ended on him doing the pose for Flying Elbow and getting prepped for it. But, especially Hakuto's Northern Lights Bomb is the nasty, like, because like the normal way of people doing it is, getting you prepped and laying you directly on your head, like very, almost like dropping you. But she like gets you up and then jumps in the air, tucks your head, and like puts her full body weight on it in a way that it looks like Daniel Warren Johnson drew it. Is the best way I can describe
yes.
it.
Yes. Oh my God. That's
and
so true.
As much as like I think Flying Elbow is a top 5 wrestling move of all time, but damn, the Northern Lights Bomb is top 3, brother. And for that reason, I gotta move. I gotta disprove these allegations and pick the last woman standing in this bracket.
You have beaten those allegations so hard, I'm not even going to get on to you for how you mispronounced Akira Hakuto's name.
Hakuto. No! I knew I mispronounced it too! Hakuto. Oh my gosh. I'm terrible, man. I'm terrible. Alright, well, our final 4. The Western Lariat, the Northern Lights Bomb, the Brain Buster, and the One-Winged Angel. What a nightmare. All right. The Western Lariat, the One-Winged Angel.
Wow.
Jack, I'll let you sound off.
Oh. I love both of these. I love them dearly. Just because I voted against both of them at different times doesn't mean that that's not true. I mean, probably we've landed on the 2 greatest, foreign wrestlers in Japan finishers of all time just by happenstance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think again, like, I'm kind of just making up any random reason that comes to my head as we go along, but I think that Hansen had a great finisher, surrounded by great finishers, but I think that the One-Winged Angel was the clear-cut greatest of its generation, and I'm going to go with that for now.
I'm going to put Cooper on the hot spot because I am going with the Western Lariat. And I thought I'd never see the day where I'm like, whenever we were making this bracket, and someone's like, yo, you gotta put the One-Winged Angel on there. But I was like, yeah, of course, it's the greatest finisher of all time. But then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, Stan Hansen is that dude. And it's like, it's like the perfect, like, again, it's not flashy. It kind of is, but kind of isn't. It's ugly. It doesn't always look like like nowadays where it's like almost like anime style where wrestlers are like jumping in the air and flipping to these lariats. Like sometimes he like just connects with the guy and he like knocks them up and down. It's a great, crumpling. It's like he hits a lariat like they say like no other, but there is no other who can hit a lariat like one Stan Hansen, especially to a homegrown Japanese talent, brother. And for that reason, especially I love the One-Winged Angel, and I kind of agreeing with Jack's argument of like Kenny has so many good moves that sometimes the One-Winged make it maybe not as good as it is, but there is no mistaking what is Hansen's best move. There's no doubt, and it's the Western Lariat.
Fuck. Yeah, fair enough.
Cooper.
They're 2 of my picks. And, it'd never be said that I don't have good taste. But, I think, these 2, which are kind of like the peak of the peak, right? The points of difference I've got to get like pretty minute into it. So I think ultimately going to err on my love of spontaneity and my appreciation for the brutality of wrestling and go for the Western Lariat. Because similar to the argument that I made for the Northern Lights Bomb, to advance over the flying elbow. I think there is something in that, the setup and the drama surrounding the one Angel, which while it is phenomenal and has at times made me feel utterly transcendent as a wrestling fan watching it, I think ultimately, you know, it is a beautiful move in so many ways, whereas the Western Lariat is about as raw as wrestling gets. It's so raw that it is the logo of this podcast. Although the logo of the podcast is technically not the Western Lariat, because I think the young lion is hitting it with his right arm, and Stan always hit it with his left, which is why it's called the Western Lariat. So it's not technically, but in spirit, it's the Western Lariat. So, but that's, I think that might be my home run pick, maybe.
Well, the last semifinal, the Brain Buster versus the Northern Lights Bomb. Since you went last time, Cooper, I'm gonna make you go first this time.
Fuck you. Oh man. Ah, God. Oh man.
Oh God. Oh man. Oh God.
Do I have a coin somewhere in here that I can?
Oh wow.
Make it easier. No. Okay. Use your brain, Cooper. Use your brain. Northern Lights Bomb.
Jack?
I love the Brain Buster, but I don't love it like y'all do. I mean, I wasn't there for that era as much as y'all were. But I do love All Japan Women's, and I'm going with the Northern Lights Bomb as well.
Yeah.
This is going to be a crazy final.
It's the Northern Lights Bomb mainly for one reason for me, is my favorite Brain Buster is a top rope, right? And I think the normal one's great, but I think when you're going normal one versus Northern Lights Bomb, it's not even a competition. Northern Lights Bomb. And when you go to top rope...
Yeah, well, that is kind of the thing. The one in my image is in my mind's eye is the top rope.
But the top rope takes a lot more setup. You know, it takes a lot more to get there. Where the Northern Lights Bomb, you can get at any moment kind of thing. You know, it's like you can set up for a normal suplex, all of a sudden, you die. And for that reason, even though I jumped up and down and hugged Cooper Prater and screamed like a little schoolgirl when I saw that at WrestleMania 40. But, like, it's the Northern Lights Bomb. The final matchup, the Western Lariat, the Northern Lights Bomb. Will Strongest Style beat the Allegations? A long running joke that we three dudes we have made this joke over hundred episodes.
I watched all of Suri-ism Chapter 10. None of you fuckers did that. All right, so don't put this.
No, I think all of us support women's wrestling and watch a lot of women's wrestling. Some more than others, I will say. But like, it is funny that we have ran this bit to death, and it has come for us in this day.
It is. Yeah, this is the revenge of this bit.
Yeah. I picked first. This first round matchup, you pick first, second. I'm gonna make Jack pick first.
Really, more than anything, I wish that this was a match that I could see happen between these two.
Oh my God! Seeing if Hanson could get hit by the Northern Lights Bomb, that might be
pro right now.
Yeah,
put that on fire, pro. Oh man, I don't know. I feel bad because obviously at different points, I voted against these ones. They haven't been my absolute favorites the entire time. But at the end, I think it's very right to end with the Western Lariat is the winner. It's in many people's eyes the greatest finisher of all time. It's inspired so many imitators in so many different, areas of wrestling, and it still lives on to this day in so many people's movesets. So I can't think of a better winner than that.
Cooper, I know you hate being the deciding factor, so I'll let you go next.
Okay. As much as I have played along with this whole game of ours, this was always going to be the Western Lariat, really. Wasn't it? Wasn't it always? I mean, I feel like I'm just letting kind of fate run through me at this point. So, I need to see the simulation of this now. It's the second that we even broached this as a topic, finisher bracket versus finisher. Concept of a finisher. Western Lariats in my head. So, that's where I'm going. And that's where we're going.
Hand to God, I was going to pick the Northern Lights bomb. Hand to God.
Hey.
I was like, as much as I love Hanson, like I've watched so many Northern Lights bombs for this bracket, and like I said, like it is
killer.
It is a Daniel Warren Johnson art come to like. It looks like you hate this person and you want them to be paralyzed. Like that is the best way I can describe it. Like going for that and then jumping in the air and landing on their face while cradling their neck is like the worst image ever in my mind. And I'm so glad that no other wrestler does this move this way because somebody would die. But also, I mean, I'm never going to complain about Hanson. I was just like, when I think of moves, I'm like, the Lariat is great, but there's a lot of, and like, there's nobody that tops his Lariat. But I was like, I don't think there's anybody that does. There's a lot of Northern Lights bombs nowadays. Julia does the Northern Lights bomb. I think Eddie does it still, right? As like
but does she though?
Or she used to. But anyway, but like, there ain't nothing topping, much like Hanson's Lariat. But there are some other great Lariats. I don't think there's another just absolute killer version of the Northern Lights bomb. But I will never complain.
Yeah, but you got voted out. But
I will never complain about my boy winning.
It is a big boy spring.
If only I was wearing my Hanson. I literally have the Stan the Lariat Hanson shirt.
I know you do.
Of course, I wore my stupid Fujita Best of the Super Juniors shirt for the Best of the Super Juniors part of the podcast. How idiotic am I? But with that being said, the strongest style, greatest finisher of all time, or really just right now that we put in this bracket, picked by one strongest style champion, Cooper Prater, Stan Hanson's Western Lariat. And that is it for the bracket, and that is it for our show. And since we finally completed a side quest, first one in a while, we say we do retros. We don't do them that often. We don't get to do the fun stuff. I'm going to put out another pitch for another side quest live on air whenever that terrible, terrible, terrible wrestling company does another draft. I think it's time for the first ever strongest style active wrestler draft for 2026. This time, Cooper gets to play and build his own promotion.
But we all have such different tastes that I feel like, we can talk about it off here. I'm just going to pick Jake Lee first, and nobody else is even going to think about picking Jake Lee first. That's the issue I think we're running into.
My thing is we should do it this time and then actually find like a wrestling simulator to like just put these rosters in. Or like somebody do that and then like ask the other person. Because if we can do that and then like have like weekly updates on it, I feel like it would be fun. You know?
I would be down for making my my Fire Pro a universe mode for this.
Haha, that sounds great.
I'd be down, but
all right.
Yeah. But anyway,
so that's just like some time off in the future.
Yes, this is not. Draft is. Either if they don't have another awful company draft, then we'll coincide it with like the NFL draft or the NBA or something like that. Whenever it's draft era. But
fake sports,
the fake sports. But we'll put that in the future because I don't want to put a date on it because I put a date on this one and then we got 2 weeks delayed. So
yes.
Around the time of when it's draft season, we will bring back the rich tradition of the Strongest Style Draft, the first edition, but the second ever. Cooper, you didn't get to do it last time, so I'm very excited to see what awful company that like amalgamation of like hellspawn that you're gonna make for a company and book. You're gonna book like.
You don't think I'd be a good booker?
I do think you'd be a good booker, but I think you are going to be so devious in the way you talk about people and the way you pick. I think you would waste some of your last picks on like some absolute wrestler you hate just so you can make them a jobber and like job them to all hell and back.
He runs on spite.
You're gonna pick like either Priest or Cartwheel as your final pick and have them lose every match. Probably
Brother,
Priest.
Yoshihashi's getting on this right now.
Jack has to save Yoshihashi.
I'm gonna be giving Yoshihashi a job for life.
Under
the provision that he exclusively faces Jake something and
squashes.
Yeah.
Well, with that being said, it's time to hit that outro. Thank you for listening to the Strongest Style, a pro wrestling podcast. That has been it for us this week. We will be back next week with another few hours of rousing wrestling content. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us at Strongest Style on X. You can follow me at Logan Hurston. You can follow Jack at Average Darth. Cooper, our champion, doesn't have social media. But Cooper, any last words?
I'm currently in the middle of doing a seance to get into the mind of Gato to steer some of these predictions my way. So I'm very busy right now, and you guys can listen to the show.
If you can listen to us on any of your podcast players of choice. We're on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, probably on Amazon Podcast. We're on YouTube.
You're not on
Probably.
I'm just gonna keep saying it every time. And maybe eventually it'll come through.
Times it just pops up on
It's true. We're on a bunch of podcast players, and if you are listening on YouTube, please like, subscribe. Tell us how badly we messed up this bracket and how the Kokeshi should have won, and how much you think what your favorite wrestling finisher is and why it's the RKO apparently. But anyway, any comment helps.
For the Meltdown.
And if you are listening in India, we love and appreciate you more than anybody else. But with that being said, we will see you guys later. Goodbye and good night.